Today I'm going to talk to you about partner augmented input. This is a language modeling strategy for parents and educators to help their children become increasingly competent communicators. Partner augmented input, the AI augmented input refers to the simultaneous modeling of two or more language modalities, one of which must include the AAC system. In our case, core vocabulary is an AAC system. AAC refers to augmentative and alternative communication. It's an umbrella term that refers to communication methods that are used to supplement or replace speech or writing with those that have impairments in the production or comprehension of written or spoken language. PAI has been shown to be very effective in helping the child to model how AAC can be used in a variety of contexts for a variety of purposes, and it shows them the effectiveness of using their communication board or device on a daily basis. PAI is a modeling language strategy where partners use the child's AAC system themselves to point to the words on the board, the picture symbols, while simultaneously talking. So they are talking out the message while also pointing out the words that form that same message on the board. I want that. I get more of that. So it's been found that partner augmented input increases utterance length and complexity, as well as increases responsiveness and use of AAC. Children using this device, or children using this strategy, in other words, will be more responsive to wanting to use their device or their system, and they will use it more frequently. This strategy has also shown significant differences in the child's use of spontaneous communicative utterances. In other words, they're just more spontaneous in wanting to express themselves on their board. And it's also shown increases in the use of joint attention. That's the shared focus of two individuals on an object, which, as you can imagine, to share a focus on one object or subject is a very important foundational skill for communication. PAI helps establish a strong foundation for the language featured on the communication board. In other words, it helps the child establish a really strong comprehension for the individual words and their meanings. PAI has 6 major input strategies that make up the acronym SMORRES. Slow rate, the S, is the first one. We want to speak at a slow rate in a clearly articulated manner. MO stands for model. We're going to say the words and phrases that make up the language naturally in that activity, whether it be bubbles or a snack. And while we're doing that, we're going to talk out the message and at the same time simultaneously point out the message on the core vocabulary board. Hey, I want to play. Do you want to play? Now, there's 2 ways that you can do this when it comes to modeling. Self-talk or parallel talk. Self-talk is where you're describing your own ongoing actions. Parallel talk is where you're describing the child's ongoing actions. I will first model self-talk. I want to open bubbles. Look, I open it. So that's self-talk. Parallel talk is where you're describing their actions. So if they're having a snack and they have like a big smile on their face, you see they really enjoy it, describe that. You like it. You want more. So that was MO, model. Respect and reflect. We're going to respect their initial attempt to communicate, whether it be a gesture, a vocalization of some kind, some sort of behavior. And we're going to provide the words. We're going to model the words to code their intended message. We know in that instance, we can tell what they're trying to say, and we're going to give them the model for how to say it. So If they are reaching for the bubbles, we can model, I want bubbles. Want. So you can model just the one word, or you could model 2 or 3 words. I want that. I want more. You're showing them the message they can make on the core vocabulary board. The next R stands for repeat. We're going to frequently repeat targeted utterances. When we model a sentence, we're going to say it again and maybe a few more times, and it's okay to vary the different ways we say it. So, if they are really enjoying that snack, or they seem to enjoy having their drink, then we're going to really focus in maybe on the phrase I like, and we're going to kind of say it different ways. I like it. Like. I like that. And I might even throw in a question in there. Do you like it? Now that gives them another chance to respond, I like. The next is the E for expand. We're going to build upon the adult or the student's 1 to 2 word utterances by adding a word or two on the communication board or device. So if the child comments no like, maybe they don't like these. No like. We might expand it. I know like. Maybe they push it away and they say finished. Well, we can show them that they can expand it to say, I finished it, or I finished. So whatever 1 or 2 word that they form on the core board, we're going to provide a model that is 1 or 2 words more to show them an expanded version of that same message. We want them to increase their utterance length over time. Just like when we're kids, we start with single word utterances and we eventually move on to sentences. Finally, the S is stop. We're going to pause to allow the child time to respond. Think about counting to 10 silently to yourself. And after you model a phrase for the child, that's giving them an opportunity to take a turn in conversation. We don't want to just quickly fill in the blanks anticipating what we think they're wanting to say. We might not know exactly what they want to say, so we want to give them time to form their thoughts. Remember, this is a new system for them, so we have to give them time just as we would expect it in our own regular interactions with verbal speakers. And those are the words that make up the acronym SMORRE. SMORRES. SMORRES are the components that make up partner augmented input. So if you do these SMORRES in your daily interactions with your child, it's going to help your child to become an increasingly competent communicator with their device on the core vocabulary board. Thank you so much, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.